Hello traders, in this video we're going to be looking at the death cross. So this is when a 50 moving average crosses below a 200 moving average, signifying a downwards movement in the market. So first of all, we're going to add the 50 period moving average to the chart. There you have it in blue. Then we're going to add the 200 moving average to the chart in red. Okay, so basically when there's a death cross is when the 50 crosses below the 200. Okay, as you can see there. The opposite of a death cross, when the 50 crosses above the 200, is known as the golden cross. As you can see here, I've done a video on that previously if you want to check it out on my channel. Okay, so when there is a death cross, you don't necessarily want to enter the market straight away. You can, as you can see here, had you entered straight away on the cross, you would have been in a decent trade and up over 100 pips. However, I prefer to time my entry with price action analysis, support and resistance, and other indicators. For example, if we look at this level of support here, we can see it was breached just prior to the death cross here, which would have arguably been a good signal for entering on the cross. However, there would have been a good chance that the market actually came back up before continuing down. So we could have waited and used another indicator to confirm entry, such as the stochastics. So if we put the stochastic oscillator onto the chart here, basically what the stochastic does is it provides entry and exit points during trending markets. You can also use it in ranging markets. However, in this instance, we're looking to sell because there's the death cross that's occurred. So we're going to use the stochastic to time the entry. So the ideal point of entry using stochastic is when the price is here in the overbought zone for a sell trade, or here in the oversold zone for a buy trade. As we're looking for a sell trade, ideally we want price to be here. You can see that it approached around this point and then crossed over. When the main line crosses the signal line down, it's a sign of a bearish market. When the main line crosses the signal line above, it's the sign of a bullish market. So this could be considered an entry point. Here, the crossover near the overbought zone. We have the death cross there, and we would have had a good trade that we'd arguably still be in and up 50 pips. We could have placed the stop loss on the other side of this short-term moving average here, which would have been around 10 pips, which gives us a good risk to reward ratio. It's worth mentioning as well that there are other opportunities before we could have considered entering. Even though the stochastic was not in the overbought zone, we still could have considered taking sell trades when there was a crossover, provided it was above the 50 level of the stochastic. We can add a 50 level in there. So really anything above here we could have considered. If you were day trading and just wanted to take a few cheeky trades, there would have been ample opportunity to do so. Another crossover here. Price action showing that perhaps the bulls are exhausted in this little run up here. So it could have been a sell trade. So yeah, basically with the death cross, anytime the 50 moving average is below the 200 moving average, we're going to look for a sell trade. And we're going to want to use price action, support and resistance, and other indicators for timing entry. Another thing we can use is this level here was a support level. 1, 2, 3, 4 times it was hit along here, and that support level then became a resistance level. So anytime price is approaching up in this area here, could be considered a sell area, and we could have kept the stop loss above this level of support come resistance, or on the other side of the moving average. I think it's worth mentioning that whilst it's easy to follow the death cross, you can end up entering late into trends. For example, this is due to the fact that the slow moving average is 50, which really isn't actually slow at all when you consider the default period a lot of people use being 14 or 21. So if we take this level of support here, many traders would have looked to enter around this point before the cross, and that's just because this was a substantial level of support that had been tested many times. As you can see, when price did breach it, it breached it with some force. That being said, you could have still waited for the pullback here, and then it would have been a reasonably good entry. Price is still falling here. Well, that's a big bar. We are the first Friday of the month, so there's no surprise there with NFP. Yeah. So you can use this death cross on any chart time frame. I find that the longer term chart time frames, such as the 1 hour and above, tend to have more reliable signals. It does mean less trades, which is also less time watching the charts. You can also use it on any trading instrument. It's quite a popular strategy, so you'll find that big traders, institutions and the such will be keeping an eye on the 50 and 200 period moving averages, which do mean that they can have extra strength to them. Another disadvantage of using the cross on its own is when there are consolidating, or let's just say choppy markets. For example, here, the golden cross there, you wouldn't just want to take that straight away. You'd want for price to continue going up in this direction before looking for entries. And same here with the death cross. You can see if you took it straight away, I mean, it didn't really gather any sort of momentum there before continuing up in the opposite direction. That being said, there was still a few good entries based off the stochastics in the overbought area, having a crossover there. You could have caught some good moves, 50 pips here and there. This pullback entering here in the overbought zone, 40 odd pips. Yeah. Just make sure you're using a sensible stop loss and a good risk to reward ratio. You can trail the stop, lock in your profits so that your winners don't turn into losers. And hopefully you found this video helpful. You now have an understanding of the death cross, how it works. Please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.